Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast, minus the person who usually starts the show, Austin. He unfortunately cannot join us tonight. But, you know, me and the big guy, Chris, we still had to get together. We still had to do our thang, thizzle tonight. Keep the content rolling.
Hold down the fort, really.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I it's unfortunate. So one of the reasons why Austin wasn't able to make it tonight was due to his wife, girlfriend, lover. I think it was her mom, right? That got COVID and they were in like close contact. So he's just like being extra precautious.
Yeah, Austin's doing the responsible thing, okay? He could have been exposed and he doesn't want to expose us.
100%.
There you go. Hey.
Now, I fortunately got my second vaccine today. So
how'd it go? How'd it go?
So the vaccine went well. It didn't hurt nearly as bad this time as it did last time. Last time it hurt my arm, bro, and it was sore for like, I would say a week. I've still felt like the residual effects. But today the dude did it. He gave me a little countdown. I don't know, maybe that made it like less like intense because the other chick just like, I turned around and I was like prodded, dude, like branded.
Spit on it once.
Oh my gosh. And like just no TLC or love behind it. But today it was good. I don't feel shitty. They said that after the second one, people usually get rocked. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll just wake up and feel like shit.
Could be.
You planning on taking it? Because Austin said that you guys are going to be able to start taking it.
Probably when it's available, because honestly, jobs are going to probably want you to. Look, I'll say this. If a job requires it, that's going to be when. Because like, I don't have any like conspiracies or anything against it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's semi what it comes down to. Like, but it's just, you know, if it's convenient, I will.
If it's like as convenient as it was for me. For some people, I know they have to wait in lines for like 2 hours. That's not convenient. I was in and out of my place today in 25 minutes. Wow. And that was super smooth. I was even ahead of like my designated appointment time. But I also got COVID tested today too, because the district's requiring us. I go back to school Monday, so they require us that we got to get a test negative. And it's not required to get the vaccine, but I would say 90% of the teachers at our school have gotten it. Oh, hey, it's on the up and up. Everybody seems to be in good spirits with us, so don't be afraid to take it, bro. That being said, how was the rest of your week?
Let's see. Well, wait, hold on. Are we doing my week now? Was that your whole week? Was that everything?
Well, that I got COVID tested. I went back to work. Yeah, I mean, my week, it just flew by, bro, because I had to wake up at 5:30 every morning. And when you do that and you're working for 6-7 hours in the morning and then you come home, it's either like, okay, do I take a nap? Am I productive now? Like, what do I do? And this week I chose to take a nap every single day.
Definitely don't sweat it. Okay. Like, and I'll get into my shit now because like, I'm definitely feeling you. Like, it's been a very hard week because I just started a new job. It's ass. Don't like it. Okay. And, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just tough. It's just physically tough. And, like, I get home and I'm like, that was the thing of today. Work was today. Okay. That was it. You know, not doing any other crazy shit. Like, and one of the days out of the week, I was like, bro, it's not time to go to bed, but I want to sleep. And that's just not fucking compatible. Okay. Like,
bro, I had this same. Was it like, were you on your phone at all? Like, I was on my phone one night and I was like, what are you doing? Like, get your ass. You have to be up in 6 hours. Like, get off of TikTok, go to bed. Is that similar or was yours like?
Well, what happened was it was like 7 o'clock or something. And I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't because I need to sleep a little later. I get up at around like 8 o'clock, right? You go up at you sleep at like 7 o'clock, like you're gonna wake up at like 3 in the morning, okay? So I'm like, shit. So I did take a nap, and I did the thing that like almost never works. I did a timer nap, and I'm like, 1 hour. That's all you fucking get. Okay. It worked, albeit it usually never works.
I would say that the timer nap has an efficiency rating of like 20%.
Sounds about right, honestly. And
that might even be too high.
Maybe and I really do mean it when I say it never works. This time it did, but like I just might have been getting shitty sleep and like happened to like wake up. Who knows what it was?
Yeah, I haven't been dreaming too much, but I have a funny story about my coworker who's been recording his dreams. So like what he does is whenever he has a dream, he'll wake up, or like when he wakes up, he doesn't just have a dream and is like, okay, it's time to start recording. No, okay, so he wakes up, he gets his phone, he goes to his voice memos, and in his voice memos, he like will just talk about what happened. So he shared a couple with me, bro, and it is the funniest fucking thing in the world because you can tell it's super raw. Like you can hear like he's giving his dream in like this kind of tone of voice because it's like 3 a.m. But anyways, in this dream, he got chased around by 5-year-olds on bicycles with AK-47s. So, I mean, that's the kind of like those little minuscule details that you might forget. But he hits every single one of them. And all he does is just like record himself. So this is just a little tip out there for anybody who's like, dang, I have fun dreams and I never like remember them. You start recording voice memos, you're going to have the greatest memories in like 10 years. You're going to be like, all right, what was I thinking this night? And then blow your own fucking mind.
Okay, so I've heard of the dream journals. That's like the older version. It's like, oh, do a dream journal. But like it kind of comes down to like when I wake up, I'm not gonna go write some shit down. Okay, like yeah, we're all like stupid and nobody knows how to write or read anymore. I don't want to do that. Okay, and I also don't want to like if some people like record themselves. I don't want any sort of obligation the second I fucking wake up. However, I'm good at dreaming. Like some people like never dream. I feel like I get interesting dreams often. But however, if you're pissed off that you're not, recording your dreams apparently helps that.
Really?
So it's kind of like usually like some whack shit happens. Like, oh, it was Pee Wee Herman, and but he was a gorilla. You know, whatever it is that day. And then you just forget it by noon, or if even like barely into the day.
Yeah.
So it helps.
No, definitely. I'm going to try doing it because I'm assuming like I'm due for like one vivid dream a week. And it's because I'm on the pots most of the time. You don't really dream too much when you smoke a lot.
That's true.
You don't get into like the final REM stage of like where dreams like are initiated. So if I did want to dream hard, I know exactly what I got to do. And I just got to like, sober October it for a little.
Okay.
But anyways, Chris, we don't really have much news. There was this the new Marvel show that we're going to watch. So I'm hoping when Austin comes back next week, we can watch that. Cause I know you guys have like, your little comic tie-in. What is it called? It's called like Falcon.
I believe it's Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Yes.
It might be the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm out of the loop. Okay. We haven't watched it. Leave us alone. Right.
It just came out. You can't blame it. Like literally just came out today.
Oh yeah. I love it when I find out I have more excuses than I come to bat with. It just came out. It just came out.
They changed the name like actually 3 weeks ago. So bam, that too.
Yeah. I'm hopeful because WandaVision, I watch it. I'm like, oh, that's good. And she's hot, but that's like another story. This I'm also excited for.
Because I found on Wikipedia, because I was like, let me do a little research on this because I'm not the most well-versed comic character kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little research and I saw that the production budget for this show is going to be like $150 million. Guess how much they spent on WandaVision? Because this one's 100. No, it's more.
They spent more on WandaVision.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm one of those people that has never seen that money and can't really perceive money that high.
I know. I've asked you this question multiple times, and every time you're like, George, with the money, cut the shit.
Yeah, bro, you're the guy. Yeah, buy the dip, sell. But I have no idea. Do you
I will
have
say
the
$500
stats?
million.
$500 million.
Yes.
Okay, so perspective as like somebody who pretty much watches all the Marvel movies. Okay, no Marvel movie has been bad enough yet where like I don't want to watch it. You know what I mean? So that's like what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, they had a show that they had two shows before all this, like these other shows like WandaVision got announced. It was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's an organization called S.H.I.E.L.D.
I remember seeing like commercials for that.
Yeah, Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. He's a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. So like that's like the pretty much the coolest part of it. And Agents Peggy Carter, I think was the name. Somebody related to Captain America. The problem with those shows is when you see Marvel, you want that like high shelf fucking, the budget is high, like the stakes are high, all the graphics look, it's insane. Like when you watch Endgame, you're like, wow, like that was, all those effects were so visually impressive. It's like the Michael Bay of VFX or something. Like,
yes,
we just come here for the VFX, okay?
Yes,
and that's fine. But these two shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Peggy Carter, they devolved into like the first season didn't do well, so they like cut all the funding for it, and it was just like a crappy, less than mid-ass show. Like,
no, that's what happens though, bro. And that's what I'm afraid might happen to this one, because like that's a staggering difference. Like I think it was $450 million for WandaVision, and then you got $150 million for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's like, whoa. But I know WandaVision, like, I think that there was so much VFX going on, like with the big town and like the shield and all these,
it was
like
super heavy. It was like some end game level like stuff going on.
It was, but it was much needed. It was much needed to like help carry that show, because it had been 3 more episodes of them like living in like the 60s and stuff, and there not being like any cool tech around them. Like I feel like I would have been like, okay,
it would have just been like a novelty. Like,
yeah,
oh, that was cute. Yeah, it was good for one watch.
Move on, right? We can't wait to see him in the movies. But I did see this the other day. There is going to be Space Jam 2. Did you ever watch the original Space Jam?
Yeah, but however, my memory of it was watching it only just a few years ago. And yes, I've seen it. That's my answer.
Yes. Okay. Well, they're coming out with Space Jam 2 this summer. LeBron James is going to be the main character now, the Michael Jordan, right?
Okay.
But the VFX, the reason why I tied that in, right? The VFX for that are going to be insane, because I mean they did a great job of all like those the CG back in the freaking 90s when they created Space Jam, the original one. I can't even fathom the kind of shit that's going to be in this Space Jam 2 movie. I'm excited for that. Big time sports guy, so stay tuned. We will definitely be going to the theater for that.
That would be super cool, because the theaters, right, bro? They're back.
We're back, bro.
Space Jam.
Yes.
And Space Jam 2, small tangent and also related to other stuff. Okay, when I watched Space Jam 1 recently, I really wasn't a fan, honestly, only because I watched it and I was like, okay, I don't care about like the novelty of like the cartoon characters in real life and the basketball. None of it, like neither of it persuaded me. I'm not a sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought like, oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It did the cartoon thing better than that. So I'm like, here's the good movie, here's the bad movie. Okay. However, animation in a live action movie like that, I just watched the Tom and Jerry movie.
The new one?
Yeah.
How was it?
You know what? People are talking shit on it, but I watched it and we only watched it because we thought it was going to be bad. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's like, it's going to be so bad, something's going to be funny because of how bad it is. And I came out saying, wow, why was that a competent fucking movie? Way better than you would have ever thought such a fucking thing would be, right?
It's not a silent film, is it?
No, not at all. No, it's like if you ever seen like I thought of like the Smurfs live action or like the Garfield live action that came out like the 2000s. Terrible fucking movies. Okay, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that where it's live action and there's a story and there's actors and actresses and then they're animated in. But just like a lot of the parts of Space Jam or Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Except they're animated like Tom and Jerry cartoons. Those just the all the animal characters like Tom and Jerry themselves.
Yeah.
The animation in that was pretty good, I thought. Some people said it was bad, but like I thought it was pretty good. It looked very clean and modern.
Okay.
So,
Was it like a Lion King-esque like detail, or is it still like look cartoonish?
it's like drawn. Tom and Jerry, they're drawn.
Okay.
Okay, so then so they're just
That's why people are
superimposing
probably
them in like a real situation.
That's
basically.
why people are probably like shitting on it, is because I don't know, we're getting so pampered with like these insane level graphics in films. In like those individual hairs move. Like I watched that Pixar freaking YouTube clip once on like how, Sully was created down to the T. So, I mean, it could be, that we're getting too spoiled and we got to like appreciate the value. And you appreciated that. You liked it.
I did. Yeah. I liked it. And like when you say that, one of the first things I think is like, bro, who liked the new Lion King? Okay. Those animals look fucking creepy.
They did.
Okay, they did. They don't. They're like, do we go realistic or not? We don't know. Here's Satan. You know, right? But I good movie. Tom and Jerry. It was actually good.
Dope, bro. Dope. So this kind of leads into, Space Jam, and then we'll discuss what we watched today, which was Game Over, man. But it's March Madness time, and I just had Chris tear up my sports betting ticket from today. Right before the show. So RIP to everybody's bracket out there, because there's never been a perfect bracket in the world, Chris. I don't know if you've ever known this. This has been going on for 90 years, I think. And there's 64 teams. And there's never been one bracket that was filled out successfully.
Yeah. Do you think like there's one day we'll have an AI, or maybe somebody does have an AI that like has all the statistics or something like a Moneyball situation where it's like when you look at the layout, of the teams and all the statistics of individual players, this is what who's going to win and what's the score going to be.
It's insane how close they get, because like we just talked about with you tearing up my sports bet, like they thought Purdue was going to win, and I believe like the spread was like 6.5 points or something, and I mean like although they did lose, they knew it was still going to be a close game. So just to even know that, a team has a shot, or a team like doesn't even remotely have a shot, that shit's so impressive to me. And like, yeah, no, if you're like into math, if you don't get into sports betting, like you're an idiot. Sports betting's being opened up all across the country now. It used to be like so frowned upon.
It's so weird. Like as somebody who lives in Las Vegas, I always thought like, nowhere else really has this. That's nuts. But
yes,
yeah,
no, 100%. When the first time you leave Las Vegas and you're like, where's all the casinos? Or you walk into a hotel and you're like, there's no slot machines in here. And then that's like the big realization moment. Like, oh, damn, we live in one of the coolest places in the world.
Yes, we do.
It's mentioned in everything. Like, I think that is probably one of my like favorite parts about Las Vegas is like, we're everybody's good time. Like everybody, whenever it's mentioned in a movie, or, you even just hear somebody randomly talking from another country, or like you go, like when I've gone out of the country and I say, yeah, I'm from Las Vegas, people look at you like, what the fuck? You live in Las Vegas, bro?
American Johnny here comes from Las Vegas.
Look at him. He's got the money.
James Silverado II.
Oh my God. Okay. So the movie Game Over, man, from the guys who created Workaholics. What an excellent movie. It's been out for 2 years now. This was like their big come out party in like the movie business. Cause I mean, if you guys haven't seen Workaholics, the three guys, the three main characters there, and I know Anders is one of them, and I'm like blanking. I'm blanking on the other two, man.
Anders, Adam, and Blake.
Autumn, yeah, there we go. Anders, Adam, and Blake, and this was like their passion project. Essentially, they had always talked about doing a movie together, and then Netflix just threw the dough at them and said, "Hey, you guys write this thing, and we're going to produce the fuck out of a great movie." Now, I've seen this before, so it was a couple of years ago, so I don't really remember too much of it. But after rewatching it, I recognized like how just creative and out there this movie is when it comes to plot loopholes, character progressions. They spare no expense at blowing people's heads away too. Like I think it's like a badass action film at the same time. But it's your first time watching it, Chris. What did you like think of it all?
So first, I'll give you my thoughts coming into it. I was like, oh, like you told me about this movie, and all I heard was a movie, and it's the guys from Workaholics. And I'm like, whatever it is, it's funny. I want to watch it already. Okay. And they just have this impeccable stooge style like trio. You know what I mean? And it works. Okay. So I was already optimistic coming into it. And then very definitely positive. I thought, I'm glad that they got the chance to make this fucking movie because it was dumb. And also as somebody who like I'm a person who isn't like super into action films, but I think more than a lot of my peers are. I watched, the Die Hard movies, the Rambos, all the Schwarzenegger movies, Terminators, Commando, Alien, all the stuff. Okay. And I loved seeing them also parody the genre in front of me. For, the main bad guy, he looks just like Hans Gruber from fucking Die Hard 1, right?
Yes.
Yes. And the guy, the shirtless guy hanging from the window, it's like, oh yeah, Die Hard. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciated the movie.
One of my favorite things was like the creativity between the three in some of the situations they're in. They stuck to like I'm the big idea guy, you're the constructed guy, and the other guy is like, all right, how are we all going to make this, like figure all this out? And, so it's not confusing ever at times on like, where they're going in each situation, but later on in the movie, like when they're coming up on their final big like plan, you get like this sense of like, all right, I'm going to try to figure this out before them. Like, how the hell are they going to get out of this situation? They have a whole bunch of salvia plans. They got everybody in a conference room. Like I was personally trying to puzzle together, what do you do besides just go guns a-blazing in there going crazy? I also really do appreciate that they continued the same like character traits from Workaholics. Like they're all relatively the same exact character.
Yeah.
Just in a what do they call it? A housekeeper form.
Yes. I was like, when they first used different names, like there's like Duncan, whatever.
Yeah, we'll just call them Durs. Durs, Blake, and Adam.
One of them looks to the other and calls them a different name from Workaholics, and I'm like, okay, all right. You guys kind of playing the same people, but I understand. It's intellectual property. You can't use it. Okay, Comedy Central, whatever. But it works the same way, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like three buddies, and like they're all stupid, they're all dumb. But you got the smart guy who's kind of smart. You got the kind of normal guy. You got the kind of weird guy.
Out of all the ruses, I think my favorite ruse was by far the masturbation hanging. So they're in this scene, they're about to get caught by the guards that are coming through the hotel, clearing out all the rooms. and they're panicking. They don't know what the hell to do. So Adam just was like, don't worry, guys, I got this, takes off his belt. So, you get about a 15 to 30 second window of like, all right, what the hell? How the hell are they going to get out of guys coming in the room with 2 guns? So he goes in the closet, he puts a belt around his neck and like hangs himself from the coat rack as he has his pants off with his dick in his hand. And I know it sounds weird because my favorite scene in the movie is where the guy hangs dong. But hey, my favorite scene in the movie is where the guy hangs dong. Clip that.
bro, nobody's gonna click on the fucking article. They're just gonna see, oh, George likes dong.
That'll get us hella clicks.
Hey, dude, my reputation does not precede the bag. Okay,
that's the truth. Like the Bay said, I've slept with 10,000 women. Of course, I've eaten a couple of dudes' asses before. It's just natural. They just slide in,
bro. There was also there was a type of humor that I didn't always see necessarily in Workaholics that I saw in this. There was like these random bits of like absurdist humor, and okay, Adam fucking autoerotic asphyxiates, and so the guys catch him, right? Ahaha, his fucking cocks. The dude's hanging dong. The guards start talking about like their like vacation they're gonna take or whatever, and you slowly realize that the 2 male guards are together, like they're actually a couple, and they're gonna run away after they the heist or whatever the fuck is over. You don't know at that point of the movie what the bad guys are doing. Let's call it a heist. And so then they start like making out and like they start banging on the bed. So they immediately subvert the fucking autoerotic asphyxiation and goes into another totally absurd fucking situation, which I appreciate that.
Because you have to like undermine what you just saw. Like people are still shocked because it's a double whammy. Like you think you're going to see more cock once those 2 guys start making out, and you're like, they're about to show gay porn. Why isn't this rated X? Why isn't this rated X? Like, what if this was just a game over, man? Is just a giant ploy for just a hostage situation gay porno.
Hey, bro, this subliminal conditioning is getting fucking wacky. Okay,
hold on, because there's so much gay shit that goes on in the movie.
Absolutely, and that's like half of the funny is like there's gross out humor, right? Which is like you're talking about shit and dicks, okay? Lots of things do it. Workaholics is no stranger. But then like, I don't know, like you can't, if you only half ass it, it's not that funny. But then like you full ass it and then like, yeah, he's going to have his cock out and they're going to have gay sex and they have to find a way out of the situation. Like,
bro,
you have to full ass it.
Speaking of full ass, the dude eats the other guy's ass at the end of the movie. Like hard body eats that ass, and you're like, whoa. I don't know. They completely, are not afraid just to blow people's minds. You think 3 funny guys, they'd want these badass chicks and pussy, and then you end up realizing, one of them's gay at the end. But they always knew he was gay. I think that's what makes it even funnier is you have so much little gay subliminal messaging throughout the entire film, and at the end the gay dude saves the day by not even using a gun. He just goes up to the chick and starts like clapping in her face, telling her to apologize.
Bro, his Karen transformation was fucking beautiful. Okay, so Blake, that's what we're calling him. Shut the fuck up. It's Blake. Okay, he's like one of the first jokes of him is he's closeted, right? It's like, okay, he's closeted. All right, this is going to be funny somewhere down the road. Keep that in mind for later. So then he comes out and he lets down his hair, and it's very similar to what it usually is in Workaholics. And he just becomes a very sassy Karen against like the Russian woman, like bad guy. And he just bitch slaps her a bunch of fucking times.
Pum, 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 pum. Not just ruthless, unafraid, just like he made the gay community proud when he did that, because he showed that they're not people to fuck around with. 100%.
Yeah, and like I'm the guy who always cringes at like the constant attempts of like movies taking the low hanging fruit. Like, oh, something really brave happened. Like, I don't get that vibe. I'm like, great character development, funny as fuck.
Yes.
It checks all the fucking boxes, dude.
Yes. So, what was like your funniest scene, and then tie it in with whatever you'd give it pineapple rating wise?
The funniest scene. This had a lot of funny moments. All right, I'm gonna tell you about two. One's gonna be quick, one's gonna be long.
Gotcha.
That's what she said.
Perfect.
The first, because I'm sick in the head. The fact that they committed to blowing up the dog and killing the dog, that was funny as fuck. It's just a little like chihuahua. They blow it up in a fish tank and just whoosh, red water. That was funny as fuck. Like, oh, bro, wait, no. This was funnier. They fucking killed Shaggy. Wait, they killed Steve-O and Shaggy.
Yes.
Which hilarious use of like celebrities. I think that's really funny. That adds a lot of like stupid context to it. That was funny as fuck. Okay. The part that I liked the most, however, I think was when they used the Skintendo pleasure suit for practical use. Okay. And it's just taking it. It's fucking Metallica starts playing and it fucking takes out all the guards. That was like the POV of the windmill fist.
Yes.
That was the most fucking hilarious part because it's like, why does this work? It shouldn't.
It just goes to it because it's almost Home Alone-esque in the creativity of like how they stop these people. With that being said, what would you give this pineapple rating wise?
Let me think. Let me run all the numbers. Let me crunch the numbers, buddy.
Yes. Okay. You go do that. And while you crunch, I'm going to say my favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's a Workaholics tie. And we literally 30 seconds before, Jillian from Workaholics shows up, Chris references that, the manager boss lady, who's in charge of like this whole event. He's like, oh, this is the Jillian of the movie, if we're tying together the Workaholics crowd. Then 30 seconds later, it cuts to like Jillian being held hostage upstairs with all the other celebrities and her getting blamed for shitting her pants. And then she says, I didn't shit my pants. I'm not going to blame it on anybody. And like starts like winking and nodding over at the chick right next to her. And then eventually she gets found out and it was her that shit her pants and she has to like walk away and she's like, oh, it's running down my leg. And you can see like the shit stain coming from behind her. And it's just like the perfect Jillian tie-in because I think she's my favorite character that's not Anders, Durs, or Anders, Adam, or Blake in Workaholics. Yeah. Hands down. So when I saw her, I was very pleased, very pleased. I'll go ahead and give my pineapple rating on this movie. It's not too tough for me. This is a 4.75 for me. Every time I've watched it, I've cracked up laughing at some point in time. I love movies that have action and an insane amount of comedy tied in with it. And this provided that like tenfold because they're not afraid to, like I said, blow a motherfucker's head off and show it. Or cut the dude's dick off in the first 20 minutes of the film. The boss's dick gets cut off. Like there's a whole bunch of just insanely out there moments, and you tie it in with the creativity of the guys who wrote it. And there was Seth Rogen who produced it. And I think like they all came together and they said, hey, this is our passion project. Let's fucking nail it. And they did. But it's not 5 worthy, in my opinion. So that's my spiel.
All right. I'm going to say I'm more in the ballpark of a 4.25.
Okay.
Not quite 4.5. 4.5 I think is like almost perfect. Like 4.5 you can only get so much better from there. And that's reserved for some really good ass movies. This was just very funny. All the characters were good and all the parts of the movie were exceptionally funny. So it does exactly what it's supposed to. And I've also had this workaholics itch. I'm like, I might rewatch the whole show again, and all the episodes I haven't seen. And this hit it. Like, this does it on purpose. Like, we know what you came here for, boss.
We're gonna get you back into our show, Workaholics. No, I might kick it on again too, because I've been seeing it pop up on my Hulu feed, and I'm like, fuck. Because once you start like watching Workaholics, you don't even like. It's one of those shows now that I've watched it so many times, I can just leave it on in the background, and I know most of the episodes, and they're all fucking hilarious. So like, it's like become The Office to me, where it's just like, if I ever play The Office again, it's just like a background noise.
Mm-hmm.
I know everything. I don't know Workaholics like to that level yet, but I mean, it's the same premise. Is there any projects that you guys are working on for Truly Bizarre right now? You want to plug here at the end? Go ahead.
I don't know if Austin has came out and said this yet, but I'll spoil it for him.
Do it.
He's working on a video about, I believe he said shadow people or shadow entities.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to a ghost, but it's not exactly a ghost. More like shadow beings. Okay. And that's all I could kind of get off him, was like, that's like the basic premise. So which is very ominous. Like, the fuck are shadow things? What the fuck are they? But that's the fun. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell what are you talking about? And I'm working on a video about a creature called the Mokele Mbembe. Still working on that, which we talked about that before.
Yes. We talked about that in the Coming to America episode.
Apparently. There's a dinosaur in Africa somewhere. Maybe not. You
guys are crushing it over there. Keep producing that content, because I mean, at the end of the day, right, we're just taking a whole bunch of darts and we're tossing them at the wall. And that's kind of crazy that the podcast ends with my mic stand falling off.
This is us getting booed off the stage by the forces of nature. And I feel so proud that we've reached that level of just unviewable fucking media. I'm glad that's what we are.
Because eventually we will become some viewable media somewhere in the world. After you make the Mokele Mbembe episode, we might be like really popular in Kenya or something.
Dude, Kenya's badass. Bro, I seen what's his face parting with the pygmies, looking for Mokele Mbembe. The guy was on Joe Rogan. Cho?
KJ. Wait, the comedian?
I don't remember. He went out to the Congo to find the dinosaur Mokele Mbembe.
Yeah.
And he just hung out with a bunch of pygmies, which is like locals in like the Congo area in different parts of Africa. And they just like got him drunk and high and partied with him. I think it was like David Cho or something like that.
Probably. I got to check out that episode, because it sounds pretty interesting. I want to hear about that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, minus my arm stand now, please go ahead, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go to YouTube, subscribe to us. We got a couple of clips up. Expect some more clips coming here in the distant future. Go to the GCP, subscribe to the GCP too. We got some big projects coming up for the summertime once I'm off and I'm able to produce a lot more content than what I've been doing. And that's all.
That's all we have.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.